Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Okay, let's start this paper. And the main thing in MCQ paper is how to save your time. I will suggest you to adopt in most of the questions. You can adopt the policy of eliminating the wrong answer, so it will be easier for you to choose from the correct possible answers. Okay, first eliminate those who are absolutely wrong. Okay, and I'll tell you some tricks of dealing with moles calculation and how to save your time in exams. Okay, let's start. Question number one. A student needs to measure 17.6 cm cube hydrochloric acid. It's a solution. So, which apparatus is best? Obviously, what are the options that are absolutely wrong? Syringe, gas syringe, wrong. Okay, so it should be very accurate. So we use burette. A pipette is wrong because it has a specific capacity in general that we use in ours, like 25 cm cube or 10 cm cube. There are pipette which has graduation also, or but we don't use those pipette here. But that was not even very accurate. So the burette is very accurate up to 2 decimal places that you can measure. Okay. Question two. Which of the is about rate of reaction question. So which when calcium carbonate is added to dilute hydrochloric acid, carbon dioxide is released? Which sets of apparatus are suitable together with the stopwatch? Okay, means to rate of reaction. So if you see one, two, three, which one is not suitable? Third one. The reason is you see this is open. The gas will be given out from here. So this is not suitable. So all which has three are wrong. Three, this is also wrong. It has why one is wrong because it has three. Let's see now one. Yes, one is common because gas is given out and the mass decreases, and you know the rate of reaction mass upon time. So you can calculate rate of reaction at any point. Okay. This one is logged, you see. So you can use this method also. You can get the gas and you can measure the time with respect to time stopwatch is given. And then when you plot the graph between volume of gas and time, it will be similar to this. So you can monitor the rate of reaction at every like instant. Okay. So 1 and 2 means B is correct. Okay, it's about question 3 is about chromatography. Okay, the diagram shows results of putting two mixtures in a suitable solvent. Which spot has RF value? So you have to remember what is RF value. Suppose if I say this one's a dye or spot, distance covered by a particular spot upon distance covered by solvent. This is the solvent. So this one we have to measure. This will suppose if I say this one is solvent. So solvent will be in denominator. 0.37 means, and if you have if you can predict the wrong answers first, eliminate the wrong. D and C will be wrong because suppose this will be from here to here, this will be suppose the midpoint, the middle point, middle of the solvent and the starting line. So this is more than C has and D have covered more distance than the half of the paper. Suppose C is suppose 4 centimeter and the solvent front is suppose 5 centimeter. So it's not possible. It's 0.37. 0.37 means less than the half. It's like zero point 0.4. So zero point 0.4 is like you can say is like eight, approximately one fourth roughly. So B looks correct. So that when you divide this by solvent and the distance covered by B, it looks around zero point 0.4. Zero point 0.5, if the spot is here in the middle, then the answer will be zero point 0.5. Okay, this is the middle portion. So we have to divide the distance of spot about distance of solvent. And you can use ruler also. Why C and D are wrong? Because the answer should be for C and D, answer should be greater than zero point 0.5. Okay, understand? Because they have covered more distance than the half of the half of the total distance covered by the solvent. And you must know that RF value must be less than 1 because the solvent front is always greater. Okay, so what are the quick way to do C and D 0.37? Okay, from here to here is the solvent front. So roughly this is the middle of the distance covered by solvent. So C and D will not be the answer because their answer will be more than zero point 0.5. So A and B is any one answer, and A is wrong because it has covered less distance. The other way you can measure the distance covered by B and the distance covered by solvent and divide it. Okay, but that will take too much time. Save your time. It's got very simple question about fractional distillation of crude oil. You know the upper the fraction, low boiling point, okay, less number of carbon. So the question is, which statement is correct? The temperature increases up. So it's wrong because if you go up, low boiling point. Here is more temperature is down, more temperature. X condenses at a lower temperature than Y. Yes, because it has a lower boiling point. B is the answer. Which one is Y? C is wrong. X is a higher boiling point. Wrong because if you go up, lower boiling point. X is larger chain. Wrong because if you go up, less number of carbon. Okay, lower, less number of carbon are distilled first, like methane, ethane, propane, butane are distilled first. Then pentane, hexane, heptane, octane. Then mixture of like 10, 11. Okay, like number 5 is about test for ions. It means you have to memorize test for ions. Okay, and then you have to know about the test of sulfate ion, and you have to know the test of zinc ion, test of calcium ion, of the ATP. Okay. The test is given acidify with dilute nitric acid and aqueous barium nitrate. Test is a no visible change. If there is no visible change, it means what are the wrong? Which ion is not possible? It means sulfate is not possible. Why? Because barium sulfate is a white solid. White PPT should be formed. This is a test for sulfate ion. And the observation is white PPT. There is no change in sulfate absent. And even carbonate absent, because carbonate, if you add acid, it gives effervescence. Okay, so two possibilities are not there. Okay, and then add aqueous ammonia white precipitate, soluble in excess. Aqueous ammonia test is for cation. Soluble in excess means it cannot be calcium, because calcium test is for ammonia. For that is actually there is no white precipitate for ammonia at your level. So zinc is the answer because white precipitate soluble in excess. When sodium hydroxide is added to a solution, a white precipitate forms which dissolves in when sodium hydroxide is added. Okay, so yeah, again you have to revise test for ions. So you see, test for ions is not only for ATP paper, it's also for MCQ paper. Okay, so it's obviously what are the uh, we can eliminate, because copper you can eliminate in sodium. Sodium hydroxide is soluble, it's not precipitate. And why copper? Because from colored precipitate, which dissolve in excess means calcium also wrong. So A, aluminum is the answer. You have to memorize the test for ions. Add NaOH and excess is soluble. Which balloon, it's about full of helium gas, becomes smaller as the temperature changes. So 30 to 10 degrees Celsius. We're reducing the temperature. It means the, if you reduce temperature, so the question is why? Read the question first. The gas condenses wrong because from at this temperature the gas does not condense. By gases have boiling point usually in minus. Okay, and mm, okay, and helium does not have like boiling point like this one. Helium is in minus, and the gas particles become smaller. Particles do not, size of the particle does not change by changing the temperature. The size of the particle, uh, the gas particle diffuse. B and C are absolutely wrong, because it's not the gas is going diffusing out of the balloon. It's because of the pressure decreases. Okay, because there is more temperature, more kinetic energy, more pressure, velocity, more collision of the particles with the wall of balloon, more pressure. Do the opposite. Low temperature, low kinetic energy, low volume. Okay, because lower collision of the particles, frequency, and lower pressure. Number 8. It's quite easier atomic structure question. So, there's how many electrons? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 electrons are there. And it has a positive charge also. It means one electron has been lost. It means how many protons should be here? 11 protons should be here. Because one plus sign shows loss of electron. So electrons are 10, so there should be 11 protons, because in the form of atom. Now it is in the form of ion. In the form of atom, it should have 11 electrons. 9 proton wrong, 10 proton. The C is the answer. Is absolutely wrong. We can deduce the number of protons from the diagram. The plus charge means one electron is lost. Okay, it's about movement of electron, movement of charge. You can say about about electricity, basic principle. Okay, copper and a rod of graphite. Copper is metal. Both are both are conductor. So both conduct electricity by movement of electrons. So which when switch is closed, the bulb lights because electric current flows through copper and the graphite. Okay. Which particles move? Carbon and ions. Carbon ions do not move. It means A and C are D are 100% wrong because carbon ions in graphite, there is no carbon ions in the graphite. Electrons are in the graphite. Electron. So B and C answer. In copper, metal ions do not move. Free electron moves. Free electron. So C, copper ions do not do not move. Electrons move. Okay. Which material has the highest melting point? It's about bonding. Is a gas. Is a gas. Is liquid. Covalent bond. Covalent. 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 C is giant ionic bond. Strong electrostatic force of attraction. Ionic solid. Okay. Nice. It's very simple. Okay. Which statement describes ionic bond? Mm, C of electron is for metals. So with transfer of electron is always from is absolutely wrong. Transfer electrons up to here is correct, but from not from non-metal to metal, but from metal to non-metal. So D is wrong. It's never sharing of electrons. Ionic bond is transfer of electrons. But the best we know once A, C, and D are wrong. So eliminate the wrong possibility. Then the B will be the correct answer. Even though if you may not understand, but you know A, C, and D are wrong. But now you understand electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions. That's the ionic bond. Now it is easier to confirm. Okay, you get confidence when you eliminate the wrong answers. Okay, number 12. The total number of electrons in one molecule. Okay, for well, you need atomic number. Carbon is 6, hydrogen is 1. How many carbon? 2, 12, and 6. One hydrogen has 1 electron. So 12 plus 6, 18 electrons. So A and B are wrong. So eliminate the wrong possibility. The total number of electrons in the bonds in one molecule is Y. Okay. Total number of electrons in the bond. Remember, one bond, two electrons. One single bond. Single covalent bond has two electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 into 2, 14. So D is the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 30. Oh, calculation. Moles calculation. Which contains the greatest mass of oxygen? 0.2 mole, Aluminum nitrate 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Okay, there are two ways, and I tell you the shortest way, trick, shortest way. Save your time. In mole calculation, you have to think. There are many ways to do this question. Save your time. What is the trick? You have to know the mass of oxygen. If you know the greater mole of oxygen, we can know the mass also, right? Because all, and you must know one thing. Achha. If you don't know this fact that 1 mole aluminum nitrate has how many mole of oxygen? 3 multiplied by 3, 9 mole oxygen. How many mole? 9. At, you can say 9 mole oxygen, correct? So point to how much? There is no need to use calculator. Why? Because mole of aluminum, the mole is given. So 1 mole, you can take do this. 1 mole aluminum, shortest way, 9 mole oxygen, and zero point 0.2 mole aluminum, like that usually do in maths. X, and then you cross multiply and then see how many. There's no need of that. Shortest way, learn how to do the cross multiply. You must know this in grade 6, 7 maths, because you are given mole of compound, and 1 mole you already know. 1 mole of aluminum, 9 mole oxygen. So zero point 0.2 mole, 1 mole of aluminum nitrate has 9 mole of oxygen. So zero point 0.2 mole, how much? No need to even calculate it. Save your time. Save your time. How? Do the next one. 1 mole has 4 mole oxygen. So zero point 0.3 mole. How many? Don't do calculate. Don't use calculator. See. Okay. 1 mole compound has 3 mole of oxygen. Zero point 0.2 how much? And in D also same. 1 mole has 3. 1 mole compound has 3 mole oxygen. See, 3 mole. So zero point 0.5 how much? So save your time, no calculation, no calculator. 9 into zero point 0.2 is the greatest one. 4.3, 3 into zero point 0.2, 3 into zero point 0.5. Which one is the greatest? A is the answer. Got it? So if you are weak in this way of calculation, then you should do that. 1 mole aluminum compound has 9 mole oxygen. Zero point 0.2 has how many? Even here, uh, don't calculate. Do it. Just make the expression and leave it. 1 mole, 4 mole oxygen. Zero point 0.3, how much? Okay. So x. X is equal to 4 into zero point 0.3 divided by 1. That's another way. But learn how to use this fraction math questions, this comparison question. Okay. So you can do this way also. So you will get the best answer A. 14. Again, mole type of question, because it's about empirical formula again, mole chapter. I ask my students to say, think, read the question. You can eliminate the wrong answer very easily. 63.6% nitrogen by mass. We know nitrogen atomic mass is 14 and oxygen is 16. 30.4 oxygen by mass. It means there should be less oxygen. So D is wrong because it has more oxygen. C is wrong. It has more oxygen. Okay, so there is no need of calculation. There is no need of calculator. You can save your time. The foolish people will be doing all the calculation. And why B is wrong? Because N is 14, O is 16. So by mass is oxygen is greater. So while here in question oxygen is less. Obviously the answer will be A. This is the shortest way. There is no need of the other student will be doing this nitrogen 36 63.6 divided by 14 and 36.4 divided by 16 and then the least ratio and then the divide. There's no need of doing all this. You can do that with save your time, save your time. Okay. Number 15. Again, mole calculation. How can we save our time in this question? The table shows relative formula mass. Many students they don't know relative formula mass is same like relative MR, but for ionic compound we cannot use the word relative molecular mass because they are ions. So we use relative formula mass. Like these two are ionic compound. So it's similar MR. Okay. Now highest concentration in mole per dm3. The MR is given. There is the mass of 1 mole. Mass of, if I just write gram, it means 36.5 gram means 1 mole. HCl means 1 mole HCl. Okay, this is the basic moles you should know. That if the mass MR is gram, it means 1 mole. You just write gram, it's 1 mole. You write gram, it's 1 mole NaOH. Okay, this point clear? Okay. Now, the mass of compound given dissolved in one. You are given this mass. The one way is find the concentration in mole per dm cube. How? 3 point. This is given in mass in 1 dm cube. But I'll tell you the shortest way. But first, those who mole concept is weak. So make one more column here. 33.65 divided by 36.5. Why? Mass divided by formula mass or molecular mass. This is mole, right? 1 dm cube is common. It means mass in 1 dm cube given. If you divide by mr, it will be in mole per dm cube. Okay. So concentration you have to find. I will tell you the shortest way, but this is not the shortest way, but this is for those whose mole are weak. Zero point 0.1 answer because 3.65 divided by 36.5. 0.1. This is 98. This is 9.8. It is also 0.1. Acha. Now, by that way, you can find the mole per dm cube, and you can see which one is the highest. Examiner report. Examiner has written 15 also challenging. Okay, challenging. But there is a shortest way you can do. I tell you how. The question is without any calculator. 36.5 gram in 1 dm cube is 1 mole. So 3.65 means zero point 0.1 mole per dm cube, simple mass, no need to calculate anything. 98 gram means 1 mole, 9.8 means zero point 0.1 mole per dm cube. So you are given gram per dm cube, I convert into mole per dm cube. 56 gram in 1 dm cube will be 1 mole, and it's suppose if it is 5.6, suppose for a moment, if it is 5.6 then it is 0.1, but it is less than 5.6, right? Is the half of 5.6, 2.8. So it means these two are same, so they cannot be the answer. C is also wrong because it is less than 5.6. If it were 5.6, it would be 0.1. Less than 5.6, it should be less than zero point 0.1. So it cannot be the highest. So obviously D is the answer. This is the shortest way. Okay. And you can do 6 divided by 40 will be the biggest among all. So this is the mass. This is MR, your formula mass. And divide this and you will get the mole per dm cube answer. So what is the logic for those who didn't understand? Find the mole per dm cube. How? Dm cube and dm cube is common. Find the mole here by dividing every quantity, every value, 3.65 by MR, 36.5. 9.8 divided by 98. 2.8 divided by 56. 6 divided by 40. So the weaker students will be doing this. It's okay. And to save your time, you can do. I don't say, I should, I'm so sorry. I should not say weaker student. I mean, people will be doing like this. So, but what I explained earlier was the shortest way. Okay. Again, mole question, and I tell you the shortest way to do this question. This also mole. Achha, again, examiner says this is challenging for a student. 1 mole of water. Which one has the most atoms? One thing. Come in. If you don't know this fact, then you will not understand this question. You must know 1 mole of water has 3 mole of atoms. 1 mole of oxygen, 2 mole of hydrogen. 1 mole of water. So 1 mole of water has 3 mole of oxygen. So zero point 0.5 mole of water, how many? Okay, 1.5. 1 mole of carbon dioxide has 3 mole of atoms, 2 and 1, 3. So its answer is 3. So its answer is mole of atom is in water 1 mole, 3 mole, and zero point 0.5 mole means 1.5 mole atoms. So this is also wrong. This is also wrong. 3 mole atoms. Oh, sorry. Um, wait, I mean, one is wrong because it's less. 1 mole of methane, CH4. So 1 mole methane, 5 mole atoms. 4 and 1, 5. 2 mole, okay. 2 mole hydrogen chloride is all again wrong. Why? 2 mole HCl means 4 mole atoms. Atoms. So which one is the answer? C. Okay. Look again shortest. Water. 1 mole water has 3 mole atoms. Let's find first mole. There is no need to calculate mole into Avogadro number, multiplying by Avogadro number. No need. 1 mole water contains 3 mole atoms. 0.5 mole means 1.5 mole atoms. Mole atoms. 1 mole of carbon dioxide means 3 mole atoms. 1 mole of methane means 4 and 1, 5 mole atoms. 2 mole of hydrogen chloride means 2 into HCl means 4 mole atoms. We don't need to calculate, we don't need to waste our time to find the atom. Obviously, to find the atom, we have to multiply by 6 into 10 to the power 23. Okay. So we don't need to calculate. C is the answer by looking it here. This is common in all these. There is no need to calculate mole of atoms, number of atoms. You just calculate the mole of atom. That's enough. Okay. It will save your time. Otherwise, you will be playing with the calculator. It will waste you 4 minutes. Understand? These were the all mole questions. Otherwise, just put star and do the other question and come back to this question later. This looks simple. 17. We said about the equal volumes of um, ethene and propane. Equal volume means equal mole. Okay. They contain equal number of atoms. Wrong. They are different atoms. First, eliminate the wrong answer. They give equal carbon dioxide. Wrong. On burning, it has 2 carbon. It has 3 carbon. It will give more carbon dioxide. They give equal masses of ethane and propane when reacted with hydrogen. Wrong. Because they don't react with hydrogen to produce. This one does not produce propane. Sorry, this one will form, ethane by reacting with hydrogen, but not the same mass. Mole will be same mole. Mm, I mean, if it reacts with hydrogen, it will form same mole. If it reacts with hydrogen, it will form same mole, provided with hydrogen is in excess. So obviously D is the answer. They react with equal masses of bromine. They both need 1 mole of bromine because they have one double bond. Okay, electrolysis. Electrolysis of copper sulfate using which electrode? Copper electrode. So I tell my students to write all the ions in when electrolysis questions here. What is copper electrode means anode dissolves because it's copper electrode. So mass of anode decreases. B and D are 100% wrong because mass increasing. C or A, anyone is the answer. When mass of anode is got against time. It's not like this. A is wrong, C will be the answer because the mass decreasing. It's not become constant. Okay. Mass decreases continuously. So A is wrong, C is the answer. B and D 100% wrong because during electrolysis of copper sulfate using copper electrode, you have to recall it. Copper anode dissolves, so mass decreases. I told you why not this? This is a common error because examiner writes in the marks examiner report. I think this is a common error because it shows like rate of reaction decreasing and then become constant. Anode dissolve as long as anode is there, it dissolves. Okay, almost linearly, which is why C is the answer. Okay, again, next question is also about electrolysis. Okay, concentrated sodium chloride. It means H plus OH minus is always in the water, always in water. And change occurs. Oxygen is anode. Let's see. It is concentrated. So H plus always, sodium does not discharge. Concentrated means chlorine will be the product at anode and hydrogen will be the at cathode. Wrong answer, eliminate oxygen discharge at anode, wrong. Sodium discharge, wrong. Okay, 1 minute. Yes, no, it's correct. So, what are the ions? I said oxygen does not discharge, chlorine at anode, hydrogen at cathode because it's concentrated. Sodium is discharged wrong. The product states same with the aqueous sodium chloride is replaced by molten sodium chloride wrong. Because molten Na will be discharged. There is no H plus sign. C and D are wrong. A are wrong. A is wrong. Then what will be the answer? B. During electrolysis, pH increases. Why? Because H plus decreases. Discharge. H plus discharge means OH ion is more base. So solution means more basic means pH increases. If the solution is more basic, pH increases. H plus sign discharging at cathode as hydrogen. Okay. So the remaining solution is less H plus, more OH minus. Okay. Achha, this is energetics energy profile diagram. Energetics chapter. What is the activation energy of ammonia in the presence of catalyst? Activation energy, this is very simple. This is without catalyst and C is with catalyst. So answer is C. Simple. 21. Which statement describes the conversion of magnesium atom to magnesium ion? What is the wrong? First, write down magnesium ion means plus 2 group 2 element, which is wrong. Gain of electron wrong. Gain of electron wrong. A and D are 100% wrong. Achha. Is loss of electron. Increase in oxidation number. Plus 2 means it's lost electron. So B is the answer. Okay. It's not reduction because it's loss of electron is oxidation. Oil rig. Oxidation is loss of electron. Reduction is gain of electron. Remember this mnemonic. Okay. 22. The forward reaction is endothermic. It means this is endo. When temperature of water increases, equilibrium shift forward because the forward reaction is endo. The water becomes more acidic, more H plus ion, but there will be more OH ion also. So this common error, people think that more H plus ion means equilibrium shift forward means more H plus and there will be more base acidic. Wrong. Wrong. Why wrong? Because number of H plus ion is equal to number of OH minus. So the water will not be acidic, water will not be alkaline. Only 3 is the answer. D. Why? There is more H plus ion, and but the number of H plus ion is equal to number of OH minus ion. Question 23. Which row correctly describes the solubility of both ammonium sulfate and sodium carbonate? You have to recall your solubility of salt chapter. You must know that all salt of ammonium are soluble. All salts of sodium, potassium, ammonium are soluble. So the wrong answer, insoluble, wrong. This one is written insoluble. This is also wrong. D is the answer. Both are soluble. So you have to recall, remember, memorize solubility of salt. All salts of ammonium and sodium are soluble. Lead to chloride is insoluble salt. And how insoluble salts are prepared? Insoluble salts are prepared by two solutions are taken from two solutions. Like lead chloride. Lead is from one solution and which is soluble. Chloride from another solution having chloride, usually HCl or NaCl, etc. Okay, so I have simply recall your test solubility, preparation of insoluble salts, how they are prepared. First, let's see the wrong answer. So which two reagents are used to prepare a pure sample of lead to chloride? Two soluble things you have to know. Lead oxide is not soluble. Acha, then you may say that how do you know which two? You may know it very easily. So you see the lead 2 nitrate, usually for lead compounds, the solution one is lead nitrate at your level, always. And for chloride, we get hydrochloric acid. Lead metal, no, we don't use because lead does not displace hydrogen. Lead carbonates are is insoluble. We don't use insoluble compound to prepare insoluble things. Lead oxide also insoluble. Okay, we need two soluble compound solutions of two soluble salt or soluble compounds. 25 looks simple, very Haber process. Non-metal, we have to revise. Catalyst in the Haber process, iron. Let's go for now. 26. Eutrophication, nitrogen compound questions they are giving together. Fertilizer, nitrogen containing compound they are used as fertilizer. Reason for that. Which one can be wrong? Ammonia fertilizer lowers the pH. Ammonia is alkaline. Alkaline means its pH should be above 7. Lowers the pH, wrong. Reason is wrong. Ammonium carbonate, just now, I think the previous question I told you, all salts of ammonium, not previous, I think 24 or, yeah, two questions. Before I mentioned that ammonium, all compounds of ammonium are soluble. Certain insoluble, be also wrong. Eliminate wrong things. Ammonium chloride, yes, we use as fertilizer. This is also correct. But let's see the reason is made from the products of Haber process and contact process. Wrong. Contact process, nothing is self. From contact process, we prepare sulfur dioxide and sulfuric acid. I mean, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide and sulfuric acid final. So C also wrong. These answer ammonium nitrate and soluble in water. Yes, which is why we use as fertilizer. If it is not soluble in water, we should not use it easily. Same for that question number 27. You need periodic tables. Strontium, I tell you here, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. And here you have helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. This is krypton. This is group 18, group 0, and this is group 2. So they're talking about strontium, iron, group 2, this one. So which has the same electron configuration. Strontium ion means 2 plus. When it when it's 2 plus means it's like it forms the ion electron configuration of the noble gas before it, which is krypton. Okay, see again, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium. Rubidium has 37, it has 38. 2 plus means it has 36 electron, which is in krypton. Okay. Metals are elements having similar properties because of their structure. Which statement about metal is correct? Metallic bond. Metals are malleable because they're layers of, yes, malleable. Don't just write the answer by looking at it because the rest half is also correct because it consists of layers of positive ions and Applying pressure, these layers can slide over one another. Yes, A is the answer. Okay, 29. What happens when a strip of silver is added in copper sulfate? Is silver more reactive or less reactive? Less reactive. No reaction. Because silver is less reactive. Lower than. Question is about reactivity series. Revise. A more reactive metal can displace the less reactive, but the less reactive cannot displace the more reactive from its compound. So 29B. 30th is also about the reactivity series. Hmm. Aluminum is formed when aluminum oxide is heated with hydrogen. Okay. This is wrong, but if you don't know, suppose this. Because suppose you don't know. Hydrogen, you have to revise reactivity series. Hydrogen cannot remove oxygen from reactive metals. Okay. But you know which one is the correct answer. Copper displaces, this is also wrong because copper is below metal. The metal which is above can displace below. Okay, remember like that that the manager can displace the color. Okay, you can go can displace color from his chair in the office. So the more reactive, the one who is in at the top position can displace, but the lower one cannot displace the higher one. Copper is formed and copper is heated. C is the answer, but suppose why not D? When add water, aluminum form positive ion. Wrong. Aluminum does not dissolve in water. Aluminum is not reacting in water. Does not react with water. Sorry. No reaction. Hydrogen plus magnesium oxide, no reaction. Hydrogen plus copper oxide, yes. Copper plus H2O gas. Hydrogen can displace oxygen, can reduce metal from its oxide below zinc. Okay, not with the reactive metal. Iron is reduce the extraction of iron top. So metals pushed together, now they are doing giving easier. Okay, what is the function of limestone? You all know limestone decomposes on heating in the blast furnace and then it reacts with the acidic impurity, sand, and forms calcium silicates, slag. His answer is a fuel, wrong. It oxidizes iron, wrong. It releases oxygen, wrong. And neutralizes the acidic impurity. Because calcium oxide is basic and silicon dioxide is acidic because non-metal oxide. This is metal oxide. They form calcium silicate, but this is neutralization reaction. Carbon dioxide. And next question is about pollution, air and water. Chapter. Okay, question 32 is quite easy about air and water, about pollution. If you have not revised pollution, then revise it. Oh, carbon dioxide, methane, oxygen, other gas involved in carbon cycle. Which of these gases may contribute to global warming? Obviously, carbon dioxide and methane, not oxygen. A wrong. B is the answer. It's a very straightforward question. I don't think there's any confusion here. 33 is also about pollution. Statement one: fish are unable to live in some lakes before there is insufficient oxygen. Yes, eutrophication. Fertilizers can be washed into lakes when they cause eutrophication. Yes. So um, which one is not possible at all. First, eliminate wrong. Student one statement one is correct, but both are correct. C and D are 100% wrong. So eliminate the two wrong answers. No, we are, because both are correct sentences. We know. Both statements are correct, but statement two explains statement one. Yes. Yes. Both statements are correct, but statement two does not explain one. No, statement two does explain statement one, because fish die because fertilizers washed away and and the algal bloom, the production of algae increases in lakes, and then the river surface or the lake surface is covered, and then the sunlight is restricted, and then photosynthesis stops, then water weeds die, and then oxygen was used by bacteria to decompose those plants. The lack of oxygen, so fish die. So you have to revise eutrophication. A is the answer. 34 is about organic chemistry, about reaction of alkane with halogen with chlorine. Methane plus chlorine, UV light is the condition. What is the reaction? In the first step, this is the first step. Reaction is wrong. And what are the other wrong possibilities? Let's eliminate. Bubbled into aqueous, it's wrong. Aqueous chlorine, wrong. So obviously C is the answer. See how easier now. If you eliminate the wrong answer, then it's easier. This is wrong because its first step chloromethane is formed, which is why A is wrong. C is the answer. 35. Which statement about alkanes are correct? Alkenes, sorry. CnH2 and 1 is correct. Uh, Undergo addition reaction, yes. They burn in air, yes. All hydrocarbon burn in air to form carbon dioxide and water. 1, 2, 3, correct. D is the answer. Statement 3 is little vague, but they burn in air to form carbon dioxide and water. Yeah, in the present, in excess of oxygen. They should have written excess of oxygen. 36. Again, organic chemistry is hydrocarbon with the ratio carbon and hydrogen 1 is to 2. It means alkene, either, or cycloalkane. If you have not heard about cycloalkane, cyclopropane, cyclopropane, they both have general formula CnH2n. Like this, cyclopropane. They also have C3H6. Same general formula. Cycloalkane and alkene. They have general formula CnH2n. Carbon and hydrogen has 1 is to 2 ratio. Now, which one are wrong? First, let's see which are not possible. C is wrong. It's alkane. They are talking about alkene. Carbon and hydrogen has 1 is to 2 ratio. In alkane, carbon CnH2n plus 2. MR is given, it means there are two options we have to choose. A is wrong because it's not alkene, it's cycloalkene. Cycloalkene has different formula, not cycloalkene has CnH2 and minus 2. Not possible. See C4H6. The carbon hydrogen is not 1 is to 2 ratio. Now B and D, anyone is correct. So it's very easy. You see the 56 C4H8, 12 4s are 48 plus 8, 56. B is the answer. 56 MR is there. So B or D both are possible. This is C5H10 ratio is 1 is to 2, but MR is not 56. Okay, so we have to see carbon and hydrogen. 1 is to 2 means alkene or cycloalkene. So C is wrong. This is closed chain alkene. This alkene must be open chain. So closed chain not possible because this is C4H6. The ratio is not 1 is to 2. Thirty-seven. Okay, it's about alcohol and carboxylic acid and ester. Alcohol and carboxylic acid chapter, if you have not revised, then you will have problem in this question. The first equation is oxidation of alcohol is takes place in the presence of acidified dichromate and or KMNO4 also. One is oxidation, one is oxidation. So B and A are wrong because it's in combustion. Any one of them is correct. Alcohol plus acid, ester and water, esterification. Third is glucose solution alcohol is fermentation. If you remember the fermentation of glucose solution. So D is the answer. Oxidation, esterification. Number 3 is fermentation. Number 2 is not acidification. 39 or 38. How to solve the question 38 very quickly, you can say. When you must know when acid reacts with alcohol is esterification, ester chapter. Ester and water are formed. But naming ester, you must know it's related with that also. You don't need to draw this. This is 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3. So we name first alcohol part, propyl ethanoate. Alcohol part we name there 3 carbon. This is the ester formed when 3 carbon alcohol react with 2 carbon carboxylic acid. Ethanoic acid means 2 carbon. Propanol means 3 carbon. This is the acid. Propyl ethanoate. Propyl ethanoate is A and propyl ethanoate is C. Anyone is correct. But this is wrong because it has 2 carbon. Propyl C is the answer because propyl must have 3 carbon. Ethanoate 2 carbon. Alex, got it? So if you have not understood and revise your ester, naming ester. How could you do it very quickly? Propyl, you must know that alcohol and acid react form ester and alcohol is named first. So 3 carbon alcohol is named as alkyl and the rest the carboxylic acid name is alkanoate. So this is wrong, ethyl. D is also ethyl, which is also wrong. Okay. 39 is very easy. It's nylon like compounds. Nylon is also called polyamide. Both sides COO and NH. So it's straightforward question. 40, you are given a polymer and the monomer should be like this. There will be a double bond only. This must be the monomer. And the addition polymerization should be there. It cannot be condensation because it's carbon-carbon continuous chain. Let me reduce the see the other options. Yes. So it cannot be condensation, it's addition. So the double bond, the monomer should be like this. exactly similar to this, they must be on double bond only. So what's the answer? A is the answer. CH2, CH3 together you can write C2H5. Okay, you cannot have double bond here. Got it? That's all for chapter. Let me know if you have any confusion, query, and give comments please about uh, any question and any method of. Thank you so much.